562. I got used to pulling these 2 sessions. No, these 3 sessions. Where's the lighter? Found the lighter fast. Good stuff. Wake and bake was hard. Another one. Oh, you smoking?
It's so worth the watch on the big screen.
I just love accountants.
That's a coincidence. It's a blast. I think it'd be fun.
I think it might be fun too.
The Accountant 2. Rated R.
Tonight, Alicia went to 4 engagement parties. She's done bringing a forced smile as her +1. Here's a ring, Alicia. Say I do to fruity sweetness. When cereal hits the spot. A couple years ago, aliens didn't exist. Now they exist. Now they're here.
Yeah.
Where they? Oh, they wasn't here a while ago. No, that's not real.
Yeah.
Now it's real. So it's like, nah, I'm not believing nothing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go do my own research.
Thank you, man.
That's why I fuck with you on that one, because I'm like, yo, and then like, for anyone that said, I'm like, really think about it, like, bro, they said aliens didn't exist for the longest. Now it's just casual, like every couple months, like, yeah, you know, there's one that turned someone to stone, some crazy shit.
What the fuck?
Yes, it was some crazy shit. Y'all know about right?
Niggas get turned into stone.
Yeah, I seen an article.
And I smoke too much weed. God damn, man. Y'all need to leave me the fuck alone.
Yo, it's your boy Hakeem, and you are watching Our Generation Music. And today, man, I got the icon with me, my man, Wiz Khalifa.
What's happening?
How you doing, brother?
Amazing. How are you?
I'm doing great. Before this, we were just talking about movies, clothes, and all these other things. They're like, yo, save it for the interview. But I'm like, nah, we gonna bring it back because that was a great conversation. We started talking about just like the old days of the Pineapple Expresses, all the Judd Apatow music movies and shit, and just like that feeling that, you know, it just gives you like sitting down and really watching them shits. Like, I was sitting there like a couple nights ago watching what's his name, Harold and Kumar, and just the wave of nostalgia that it gave me, and just like the pure enjoyment of just like these random stupid laughs. You know what I mean? Just like, yo, this shit is so funny. Like, you don't even get that anymore. I feel like we just moved like, you know, from such great comedy movies, and
people were way less sensitive back then too. And then you had like South Park, and you know what I'm saying? We had like really good stuff. South Park still does stuff now. Yeah. That's like super, you know what I mean? That still touches on what it's supposed to. Yeah. But I feel like, comedy was way better back then, and just people's like, the way we digested things was a little bit better. And I miss that. Yeah, I mean, 40-Year-Old Virgin. Yeah. We said old school. Old school. There's a bunch. The Van Wilder. Do you remember the movie Kick-Ass? Yes, that's a little later too, but that was a good one too. Or even the what's in Seth Rogen one with the Bumblebee and he had the Asian sidekick. I forgot the name of that one, but that one was funny too. It was like something is green. The Green Hornet? Green Hornet. Yeah, Green Hornet, yeah. Just those like Hangover. Yeah, just like those funny, like you just throw it on and it's like good like background movies. Like I feel like it's been a while since like I found something like that, man. We gotta get back to that. Yeah, it would be good to shoot something like that. And like I had a cover with Danny McBride, a Complex cover, and I tweeted it the other day. And I was like, man, can we make this happen? Like, please, bro. Like, cause it would be funny as heck to put together something that's shot well, a good story, and great comedy as well. Like, we need that. We definitely find Danny, bro. That shit would be funny as hell. I was just watching Eastbound and Down. Yeah. Bro, the punchlines in that shit. It's crazy, bro. Fucking crazy. Insane, bro. Like, I'll be watching Righteous Gemstones. What's that? Oh, that's the show that he got on HBO Max. This new shit? Yeah. They got like 3 or 4 seasons. But it's him, and he's got like his whole family is like from preachers that like they're in church. But it's funny as hell though. Righteous Gemstones. I gotta check that out. Yeah, check that out. You know, it's funny too because a lot of people too they're saying Apple is having a lot of good shows right now. Apple's cool. I try not to binge too much. You know what I'm saying? Especially the older that I got. I just enjoy like certain types of shit, and then like what we're saying, going back to the classics and just revisiting that because you know what I mean. Like these days, it's just a little bit different. It doesn't feel the same. It's just like it doesn't give you that same. I wonder also too. That's a good question. Is do you feel like people like often live too much on nostalgia then, or just the quality of things have? I don't think that we live too much on nostalgia. I think that stuff was really better back then, and there's still a lot to discover from those years too. Like if you watch movies from the 2000s or 2010s, if you dig deep like beyond the the normal stuff, you'll find like little stuff in the cut. Like Snatch is a good movie. You ever seen that? Yeah, like stuff like that. You know what I mean? Remember Species, the random one? Like, that was crazy. That was crazy. Yeah, that was nuts. Yeah. Like, these are like just good movies, like good stories. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't think the nostalgia. That's too much. What's always like my random thought about it too? Like I feel like the more advanced we got with technology, like it kind of ruined it because I feel like I'm like looking at my Tuesday, and back in the day, like you're watching Star Wars, and you're watching all these movies, it felt like a world. It just felt, it's almost like AI, like it doesn't feel real. It doesn't. Now I'm watching movies like, damn, this shit is too clear. This is way too clear. Like it feels like I'm just talking to my homie. Like it doesn't like make me really practice escapism. Yeah, for sure. I feel the same way. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. But yeah, we also too. I brought up How to Make It in America and it being a big show for me, and kind of bring me back to the journey and just
make me want to chase my dreams and this and that. And we talk about those comfort shows that we have that kind of realign us. Can you tell everybody about your favorite ones?
Yeah, mine we talked about it was Californication. For me, well, it was Entourage before I moved out here for sure. Like I loved Entourage, but when I moved to LA, just Californication, the industry, the ins and outs, the personal life. I really actually like the characters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like to see the story develop. When RZA was on there, that season was hilarious.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? It's really, beyond the surface level. Like, it just gives you like a feeling.
Yeah.
And like a not like an aspiration, but it's like, you kind of.
It's like a mirror to your life. Like, oh, like I'm supposed to be up there like that.
Yeah.
Look at Vinny Chase pulling up red carpet to a movie premiere. That's Wiz soon,
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like it's my like comfort show.
Yeah.
Like it's literally my I throw it on every fucking day. It's damn near on every day.
Yeah.
Like it's literally it's crazy. And the thing I also really, really love about it too is it's like really also the writing in this. I think the cultural importance and even Scott Benner's like, I talk to him all the time. Like his music, the way he lined up all the music in it was just so fire. They were breaking songs in that show. They were premiering songs and it was just all like it gave you like this wide palette of music. You're hearing rap, rock, this, that. It's like damn near like iPod as a kid,
Yeah, it's really rare that shows like capture the times. And that was one of the ones that really like encapsulated where we were at. Like you would see an Escalade pull up with some rims on it with somebody playing a PlayStation in the back. Like, you know what I'm saying? You'd be like, damn, all right, cool.
Then go to Riff to get sneakers.
Yeah, you know exactly what year you're in, just based off of like what was cool at the time. And that's really dope, man. And it's fun to see shit like that. And I think like that adds to, our imagination and just when we get here, all right, it sets the bar to where we want to be at.
Yeah.
And that's what we don't really see that too much anymore now. You kind of see like people like explain what people's lives are like. They'll like try to tap into like streaming or, just being an influencer in general. But they don't really get into it like what it's really like. You know what I mean? And for me, being able to see that before and even going through it was that like it helps you navigate that shit.
Because there's so many different, growth in, Vinny's character. Like there's so much different growth in it. Just every different season he's hitting different marks. Even a season where he's down a little bit and he gets a call. He's like, yo, Martin Scorsese, you about to do this movie. It's really one of them shows, man. It's definitely one of them ones. So I seen you, I wasn't gonna go to Coachella and I was telling Will, I was like, oh, bro, we going out, we be seeing the same people. I don't even want to do this shit sometimes. But I'm like, if there's a party to go to, and I got to go out there for a day, I got to go to this Travis party. It's going to be lit. As soon as I seen it, I was like, all right, I got to go.
Travis party was cracking.
And I'm like, yo, that was cracking. Yeah. That was vibey for sure. Trav loved him some Afro beats.
Yeah, he did.
I did not see that.
Yeah, he be turning up.
He be turning up, man. That was a good vibe. So I was like, but yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm probably gonna see some people. I probably need to, re-tap in back in and get the interview going and this and that. Then boom, I see you. First, I'm like, yo, we gotta do it. I'm like, yo, bro, I was just about to hit you. I'm like, yo, pass me a shot. You passed me a shot. That shot was so nasty, bro. Yeah. That shit was so hot.
It was warm.
Like whoever tequila brand that is.
Yeah.
You need a cooling system. Like,
that was one of those situations where we had walked into the party and I seen like a wall full of liquor and instead of waiting for my bottle to come to the section, I just walked up to the wall full of liquor and just took one of the things down. It was probably up there for a really, really long time.
The sun was probably beating that motherfucker.
Yeah, so I don't want to, be a bad representation of whoever's tequila that was, but it was probably in the sun for a minute.
Okay.
And it tasted like tea. Like it was hot.
It was hot. It was like coffee. You're gonna get a pass because Wiz gave the explanation. Yeah. But
yeah.
I'm gonna have to retry that one more time.
I immediately like slammed it on some ice and was like trying to cool that shit off because it was hot, bro. It was disgusting.
Yeah.
But it's Coachella, man. It's whatever.
Yeah, and I seen you, you always do. You tap in with the youth, man. I seen you post a pic with Yeet. You know, Ty Dolla brought you out.
Yeah.
3-6 Mafia.
Yeah.
He was having a good time. He was on one. If there was, T-Pain went crazy. I think had the best set in my opinion. But if there was someone having a good time and good vibe, it was Wiz. Wiz got the good time and good vibe award, man. And you said you haven't been out there in like 6 years too,
Yeah, it's been a minute. And that's how I like to get down. I like to just be a part of it and enjoy myself. I was lucky enough to have Ty and Juicy bring me out. Like, I never expect that type of shit, you know what I mean? Like, I just be on some chill shit, but they hit me up and asked me to come out and perform. And I had to remember that we even had songs together. I was like, oh yeah, we do got songs that's worth performing. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was just gonna watch their set if I was there. But yeah, it was just one of those things where I was there to work, so I just figured I might as well enjoy myself. I'm glad I got the Good Vibes Award because I had a great time.
You did. I also thought it was dope to see you have Amber and your girl there too. That was cool. I'm like, bro, at the age I am, so now your age, I'm like, and I got that type of situation. That's what I want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, yo, that was so dope to me. I'm like, yo, this nigga Wiz live a great life, bro.
Yeah, for sure. Amber knows she could hit me up for whatever, so I made sure that she was squared away. And I had my lady with me, so of course we all gonna party together and have a good time. It ain't about nothing. Like, we do that on a regular, just, at the house, or, if there's nobody around on holidays or birthdays or whatever. So it's nothing for us to get out in public and do the same exact thing.
I love that, man. That was really cool. That from that moment I took, I'm like, yo, that was really cool to see, man.
Good look, man.
So we got to get into the project, Kush and Orange Juice, while we're here, and it's crazy because that project came out my freshman year in high school, and it's been with me, for a very long time. I listen to that shit. I listen to your music like, probably, at least a couple times a week. Like, I'm going back to some old Wiz. I'm catching those vibes. I'm a big YouTube person. Like, I go dig deep into YouTube and like listen to all this stuff that I listened to growing up and everything. And I remember just like, it came out on a Monday, I think. Yeah, and then like the next week was 420.
Yep.
And just like that week of just like the communal of like, yo, you heard this, you heard that, like, yo, I can't wait to smoke on 420 to this shit. Like, we used to smoke in my backyard. My parents are Jamaican and shit, so it was kind of cool with it, we used to smoke in my backyard. We about to be smoking big dope to this all weekend. Like, it's about to be a movie. And we did do that, and your music was the soundtrack for that weekend, and it was a great. I think Northern Lights. We might have been smoking some Northern Lights around that time too. We just got the plug on the Northern Lights, so that was fire. So yeah, we were smoking that. We faded this, listening, just taking the music in. What do do you have those thoughts of just like, knowing your importance to just the people's lives, like being an inspiration, and just even sometimes people's first times even like smoking weed and shit.
Yeah, definitely. I'm fully aware of that, and I love that. I know that the music is dope, and I pride myself in being a really good, artist. But the majority of it comes from the memories and the experiences through the music, and the fact that people can put my music on and just remember the best times of their lives. I'm really grateful for that, and I'm really, that's what I lean into the most when I make my music. I want you to hear something great. I want you to be shocked, and I'm personally challenging myself, but in the end, I know that my strong point is being the soundtrack to the best moments of some people's lives.
It's crazy to say, right? Like, it's like, and that's a real, reality for it. I'm about to be 30. I'm about to be 29. I'm 29. I'm about to be 30. But it's like, bro, seeing my friends in the backyard smoking and just like hearing your music, like that's core memory, like it's really crazy. And now, you hear your friends now like, yo, Wiz putting out Kush and OJ too.
Yep.
Like, you know what I mean? It's almost like you gotta like redo that tradition. Like, yo, let's hit the basement.
Yep.
Like, let's go here, let's go.
Yeah.
Like, how are we celebrating this, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of people have did that, you know, team back up with their friends or whatever.
Yeah.
There might have been some people that ain't been talking in years. They said, hey, bro, you know, Kush and Orange Juice 2 coming out.
Gotta get back together.
You know, we gotta get back together, man.
Yeah.
You did a really good job on the project. Great follow-up.
Thank you.
I gotta ask a question that, you know, for me, growing up listening to, like, how did you come up with the Easy Water like that? Because I feel like that was the glue to putting the project together.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. That was the glue.
Yeah.
How did you come up with the character?
I had Easy Water. Easy Water had hosted plenty of my other mixtapes. It was just like a skit that I would do when I was younger, just to like kind of keep the mixtapes flowing.
Yeah.
I just kind of made my own world up of people who wanted to listen to my music.
Mm-hmm.
And Easy Water was the director of that, so he kind of just told you what to do and how to do it. And yeah, it was just something that the fans loved and they always gravitated towards it.
Yeah.
So I kept it going, and by the time I did Kush and Orange Juice, I did the whole album, and then I went back into the studio, and you know, we laid the Easy Water parts, and like you said, it just became the glue to it. And that's when we knew it was like, oh, okay,
this is done.
Yeah.
Because it's like you can't get that without just hearing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's the nostalgia hits for sure, and that's why I'm glad to have older fans be able to speak to how important that is. Because if you're a newer fan, you might not understand the importance of it.
Yeah.
But somebody else is gonna tell you like, man, nigga, Easy Water, nigga, that's that nigga, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yo, the blood you just got high. You hearing me Easy Water tell you like,
Yeah.
Fader, I'm on the couch. Yo, we got any snacks in here? Like,
Yeah. Roll up another one.
My heart racing. New fans, new vibes. I love you brought little Tyler on there.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of my favorite out of the new kids doing their thing. You know, talk about, you know, bringing him in and bringing that youthful and young energy to the, you know, a classic, you know, album.
I wanted to work with Lil Tyler anyway, just because I like how positive he is and how just in his own pocket that he is, especially for a young dude. Like, he don't talk about the same shit that all the other younger dudes talk about. So it was always in my plans to record with him just to show some love and some support. And we ended up linking because he was doing Rolling Loud. So we got in the studio, and it was right when I was finishing up Kush and Orange Juice. So I was doing all the freestyles and stuff like that. I was just really in my bag, and I recorded, and Cardo had sent me that beat that day. So I recorded my verse about 5 minutes before he got there. I was laying the hook when he got in, and I was like, throw a verse on this. And when I heard his verse, I'm like, nigga, that's going on the album for sure. It was like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And it was really cool to be able to be in that position, in that situation, because I feel like some of the best moves happen towards the end of the album.
Okay.
Some things you can try to plan, but some things just really happen. And that was one of those things where it was meant to happen, it happened right at the right time, and it sounds amazing.
Yeah, definitely one of my faves. And then also too, obviously, you and Max B. That's like a stoner playlist, like to the fullest, like good vibes, like gotta have some Wiz, gotta have some Max.
Yep.
But I want to know, you know, obviously Max B's getting. I've seen the pop because, you know, I've grown up. I listen to a lot of Max. Not a lot of people were on Max B, so kind of if you know, you know, right?
Yeah, right.
But there's been a lot. His popularity has grown a lot. Even now, the Supreme collab, all this.
Right.
There's even people in New York like, bro, y'all better not get no Max B t-shirt. Like, y'all don't even know about the Wave God. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, it's crazy. Like, you know, I want to know, like, what does Max B mean to Wiz Khalifa?
Max B to me is a pioneer, somebody who I feel like we share the same spirit, especially when it comes to promoting ourselves and knowing ourselves and just being able to maximize on our strong points. I've seen Max B describe himself before anybody even understood who he was. And that's how you were able to get the narrative of what he
was. It was the ultimate confidence.
Yeah.
Like, he's the
confidence.
like, be confident. Both, So New York, very New York.
Super New York.
Yeah.
Very Harlem.
Very Harlem.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking
And then just the
wavy.
release of all the music. You know, you can talk as much shit, but being consistent, just releasing music on music on music on music, finding producers that he's you know, that he gels with.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And creating a sound, calling it the wave, and having people who believe in that follow him. And I feel like, you know, before when we were supporting him, that circle of people, it wasn't small, but it was more if you know type of thing. Or I would meet people and we would bond over them listening to Max.
It's
B.
crazy because there's, and you're one of those type of artists too. From at that time, growing up, was
exactly.
like, oh, you listen to Wiz, you listen to Max.
Right?
You're like, oh, we're on the same shit. We're community. Like, it's crazy, man.
That's
like,
why I say we share the same spirit and we're alike in a lot of ways. You know, just from a fan perspective and then from a, you know, similarity perspective.
100%.
So that's why I connect with Max.
Yeah. Man, we'll see Max being home soon, man.
Be home.
Can't wait for you guys. You're definitely gonna see you guys on a station.
Oh, for sure, man.
That's gonna be legendary.
We're making sure that the wave is continued right where he left off.
Yeah, that's
They gotta know.
And, you know, back to the community aspect of it too. Seeing you in Currency, obviously Project is, you know, on the project together is super amazing. Like, you know, that's another one, you know, you guys did collab projects together growing up. That was big for me. And then seeing you guys back, but now you guys added Terrence Martin.
Yeah.
Bro, when I turned that shit on that first, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
These niggas went crazy.
Yeah, that's one of them ones.
Talk about when you first heard that beat, just hearing, you know, Terrence Martin, or did you later add Terrence Martin to that?
Yeah, we added him later. TM, 88 from Atlanta actually produced that. So he sent me the beat and sent me a pack of like 14 beats, but that was the one of like, this is in the Kush and Orange Juice, you know, for sure. So I did my verse, and then I just held on to my verse for a minute, just kept listening to it over and over, and then I sent it to Currency, and Currency did his verse, and he just had that. And it was another one of those situations where we had started mixing the album, and I was like, what would be, I was really on my jazz way, and like buying records, and
oh, you been buying records and stuff?
yeah, hell yeah.
Okay.
And just listening to a lot of vinyls and just discovering some older music and older people catalogs. And I just wanted to add some elements of that to the album. And me and Terrence go way back. Terrence knew me when I was like 19 years old. And you know, a lot of my first trips out to LA, working in studios and things like that, was through Terrence and through Problem.
So another big full circle.
Yeah, huge full circle movement. Especially getting them on Kush and Orange Juice.
Yeah.
Because you know, I worked with Terrence on what was supposed to be my first album with Warner Brothers, but then I lost my deal with Warner Brothers because they just didn't want to put my album out. So me and Terrence stayed friends, but you know, there was nothing that we could really do musically. And then I went on to make Kush and Orange Juice by myself. But him being a really good friend of mine, somebody that I respect musically, living out here in LA, it was like, yo, I gotta make sure I get my bro on the album. And I personally like took this song to his house. Sat there and watched him play and hook up his equipment, and you know,
He was probably sitting on that couch like,
wow, it was good. Because I used to go to the gym during the day, but I was like,
the goal learning the song is to always play it, to always do it on that.
Let's go listen to it. Man, those were my faves. And then also too, seeing you bring it back to super high, you redoing that.
Boom.
Man, because that was such a pivotal song because Ross came down. Like, y'all was bubbling in the underground. You got Big Rick Ross now, like rapping with you in Currency. You know, I thought that was super dope, man. I definitely caught that. You know, talk about doing that.
I had to bring that moment back for people who remembered it. Kush and Orange Juice was an album, but it was also a time. It influenced fashion, it influenced music videos, it influenced a lot of things that the moments in between are also important. And yeah, go ahead.
People looking at the underground.
Yeah.
This is
absolutely
they coming.
Yeah,
like
it was like a clear line between mainstream and underground.
Yeah, I remember
underground was way more popular at that time.
Why this man's show going crazier than mine? Like type we're coming.
That's what it was.
That shit is crazy, man. But that was, to me, that was like, oh yeah, that was that merging moment, and it was dope to see that on the project, man.
Yeah, I wanted to add a lot of that DNA to it, like I said. So for the older fans, nigga, you don't even know. You don't know shit about that. Exactly. You pulling up shit.
Look right here. He was in the background here. I was there.
Them conversations.
You did it, bro. And even on what's the name? Hit It Once too.
Yeah.
Bringing that back because it's the same essence of Still Blazing, right? So I was like, you're dropping Easter eggs for like your fans. I really love that you did that, man.
There's a couple of them in there. There's another one I'm waiting for you to catch.
Oh my God! I need to put me on the spot, man.
It's cool. I want to tell you. I probably should.
You should tell me. You should tell me.
No, I ain't gonna tell you.
Okay.
You gonna figure out. You gonna be like, is so and so. I'll be like, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, you know. You already know.
I gotta read what's
you know. But there's another good. You know how dads stand over their kids and be like, there's 3 more over there. There's 3 more Easter eggs. Keep looking. Exactly.
So obviously, you had the greatest moment this week. Well, and like one of the greatest moments this week of the flat Earth thing.
Oh yeah.
And I'm sure ever since then, every interview you had, like, it's like, oh, let's bring up the flat Earth and Wiz. Let's go. But I think would be funny. I think if you did a deluxe, you should make the Earth flat.
Make the Earth flat on there.
That would be, or just troll and make the Earth flat online, like, or post it on the story, like, here's my flat Earth album. Yeah, that would be a great double down. I would love that.
I know, right? So that's what people want. They want me to double down.
I would double down on it. All right, cool. I listen. The reason why I fuck with you and on the flat Earth theory is because a couple years ago, aliens didn't exist. Now they exist. Now they here. Yeah. Where they? Oh, they wasn't here a while ago. No, that's not real. Yeah. Now it's real. So it's like, nah, I'm not believing nothing. Yeah. I'm gonna go do my own research.
Thank you, man.
That's why I fuck with you on that one, because I'm like, yo, and then like, for anyone that said, I'm like, really think about it, like, bro, they said aliens didn't exist for the longest. Now it's just casual. Like every couple months, like, yeah, bro, but there's one dude that turned someone to stone, some crazy shit.
What the fuck?
Yes, it was some crazy shit. Y'all know about, right?
Niggas getting turned into stone?
Yeah, I seen an article.
And I smoke too much weed. God damn, man. Y'all need to leave me the fuck alone. Nah. With that shit, I think it's just a fun topic for people to argue about, like, people love arguing about shit. You know what I'm saying?
And it's funny, how are you arguing with, someone that's traveled the world? That's the other crazy thing to me.
That's what I've been wanting to be like, bro. Have you been to Dubai? Have you been to Saudi Arabia? Have you been to Australia? I can't really argue with you if you haven't.
That's the crazy. That's perspective, right? And it's like you travel. It's like you might think this one way, this and that, and then you really get in there. It's like the eyes wide shut moment. It's like it's like, oh, this was really going on back here. Like,
you just start to pay attention, and whatever is whatever, man. Like I love it. Like I let people argue. And sometimes you just fucking pop out for reasons that you don't want to pop out for, and that's one of them.
That's what the crazy. I think like, you being famous. It's like, I have some notoriety and people know me, this and that, and then sometimes I'll randomly say some shit and it'll be on mad blogs, and I'm like, fuck, I forgot. Oh my god. This should have been on my close friends. This is an intrusive thought. This should have been here.
I literally forgot, and I don't blame them either because I was comfortable.
Yeah.
They knew what they was doing though. they knew that shit was gonna like be a conversation, but
it's media, man.
I'm green to some things, so I didn't know that that's like a whole thing on the internet.
Oh no, that's huge.
It's crazy.
I remember when Kyrie came out and said it, like yeah, like Kyrie.
I didn't know that that's like what, and it's happening, and I'm like, I had no idea. It's not even bad, but I just had no idea it was that freaking serious.
It's crazy.
Like, my son's probably gonna hit me up and be like, hey, Dado, you think? I'll be like, dog, you gotta deal with this too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, people just like talking about it, yo.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy? I mean, before we move on from it, I feel like I've seen more people talk about this than people talk about aliens existing.
Yeah.
And being uproar about it. I'm like, TMZ, where's your alien article? Like,
yeah.
Where's the moment for like, no one's tripping, no one's losing? Yo, I used to be sleeping in my bed and I wake up. You know, sometimes you sleep in your bed and you wake up and you see a figure like.
Yeah.
Now it's like a real thing. Like, I'm like, oh shit, that really could be an alien.
Like, clearly, aliens and calling something flat that people think is round are not the same thing.
Yeah. Until the government tells you that Earth is flat in a couple of years, then it's like, oh yeah.
Nobody's gonna care. They're gonna
treat us like aliens.
Yeah, there's gonna be holograms of your thoughts and your memories. There's all types of stuff that if I say it,
in the corner,
you know, I sound like
orange bean.
Freaking.
That was actually my next question. I kind of want to hear just like your other like thought-provoking ideas that you have.
There's definitely gonna be holograms of memories. They said that like.
What a feeling, please believe it.
What feels better, clean or a massage? Your masseuse might be insulted.
Enfamil NeuroPro has MFGM components to support your baby's brain development. Try today.
Close your eyes with me. It's the first day of the F1 season. What are you feeling?
That certain people are gonna expose memories that go back to the beginning of the world, bro. They're gonna be able to show us like how the world began, like
that's some Assassin's Creed
in a hologram, like you know what I'm saying? They're talking about that type of stuff, and of course your own memories, but yeah, they're talking about being able to go back that far.
Yeah, I seen they brought back one of the wolves or recently, the dire wolves from Game of Thrones. Yeah. I was like, oh yeah, so the dinos they're getting ready to come. Yeah. T-Rexes will be here soon.
Yeah, it gets crazy, but this is just stuff that I hear. I don't know if it's true.
Nah, the dire wolf was in time. That's coming for sure. It's coming, man.
I just be hearing some stuff, so I don't know. You know, man, I'm high.
Oh man. So you know, I feel like you can't have a Wiz Khalifa interview and not talk about the blog era, right?
Yeah.
It's just like yeah, we're gonna have to talk about the blog.
Let's do it. favorite era.
Goated, obviously my introduction to not my introduction to music, but understanding my love for music, right? It's like, okay, I love music, like this makes me feel a certain type of way, and just understanding things, going through certain things. I feel like we've been seeing a lot of Mount Rushmores happening recently, right? But you know, someone would be like, oh yeah, what's the Mount Rushmore of blog era, this and that. It's like, nah, I want to know what you think the Mount Rushmore of mixtapes of the blog era was.
Mount Rushmore of mixtapes of the blog era. Who ran it the most? I would have to put myself there.
What project though?
Oh, Kush and Orange Juice.
Okay.
Yeah, Kush and Orange Juice. So Far Gone. Let's pick a currency tape. Oh, Pilot Talk.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll throw Pilot Talk up there. That's 3. What's there?
One more.
From the blog era, what fucked shit up in the blog era? Damn, I'm trying to think. What would you say?
Well, you got two of one of them. Mine's Nostalgia Ultra by Frank Ocean.
Frank Ocean?
Yeah.
I was coming out of the blog era when when that one went down. I'm trying to think about. Okay, that's a good one.
And then No Ceilings for me.
Oh no, I could put Kids, Mac Miller.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna throw that in there. So that's my Mount Rushmore.
I like that.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a few of them that's I feel like people can agree that stay in stones, and it's Kush and Orange Juice.
Yeah.
So Far Gone.
Yeah.
Those two, I feel like they have their cemented place.
For sure.
Right? And then the other two, I think, just me, I think it's a personal preference on the other two.
Yeah, for sure.
But those ones were the, like, you know, I think the real super, like, yo, these are super cat, like.
Yeah. I think we intentionally did that too. We was like trying to step on shit.
Yeah.
When we made
You and Drake, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. We were really intentionally going for it. And we both had different angles because Drake was always more polished and more like put together, like songs, and he had collaborations with bigger artists already, and he had co-signs and things like that. And we were just coming from like just being stoned and doing college shows and shit like that. But we ended up meeting in the same place. So
you guys had so I don't know if it was official, but it was like Purple something.
Who, me and Drake?
Yeah.
We never had a song.
It was a what's the name? It's like a mix.
A mashup?
Yeah, like it was a mashup niggas used to listen to back in the day. Yeah. Definitely deep in the YouTube.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, the ones that know, they know about that one. No, it was on Real Estate. It was on Real Estate.
Well, I had you really a G for that. That's crazy.
Come on, man. It was
Will remembers that because I had that beat too at the same time, and I had made a song for it, and then he had made his song for it, and then their song came out. My song never came out. So that's what happened with that. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. Will's no hard feelings though. Like, you know how the industry is.
Yeah.
They tossed it to him, and it became his song. But yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, I remember. I remember the day it dropped. The mashup dropped on YouTube, and I was like, "Oh, niggas was like, yo, where's it, Drake? It's up." You know what I mean?
That should have been.
Man,
that would have been one of the ones,
bro. Because back to what you're saying, space-wise, where you guys are occupying, right? And a lot of times, I think some of those make the best collaborations. Where it's just like, oh, he's over here occupying this space, and he's over here occupying.
I totally agree.
Oh, yeah. Another thing too, you've been around for so long in a sense where it's like, from MySpace, early on, which Who I Am was one of my MySpace songs.
Yeah.
That was one. And then still to this day, like, has aged beautifully. Yeah. You were the birth of, streaming. You've one of the first couple albums that were on streaming, you know what I mean? When your albums came out. Did you have any reservations, like, when you first, seen streaming or anything, or do you even have any now, like, about, streaming, Apple Music, Spotify, just streaming in general?
I don't have any now, but at first, I remember the concept was, like, explained to me. I was like, man, I don't care about that shit. Because I didn't see it taking over. They're like, Will's explaining, he's like, streaming this and that, and I'm like, yeah, man, whatever, man. We do this shit for the streets, dog. I'm like, my fans aren't going over there and doing that. But that's how powerful the industry is they monetized everything, and they made sure that it was necessary, for streaming, for algorithm, for whatever it is to sell records in the new way to sell records, which is like YouTube, streaming services, and then as they started to add on the apps like, TikTok and things like that. But, excuse me, for me, I've always liked cracking the code and just figuring it out.
Yeah.
So as things started to adjust and change, it kind of just made me look at my approach to how to release music and to just try different things to see what works.
Yeah.
Sometimes you might want to build your own website and go directly to the fans.
Which you did all that.
I've done all of that. I've done everything in the book. And I think just experimenting and learning what happens makes the moments of breaking free of that.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people usually see me do is kind of break free of what everybody else is doing and do things that just work for me.
Yeah.
And it's fun to figure it out.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. And even like back to you saying you're doing a lot of you've done a lot of things. I mean, as far as like I remember, I think when I made Twitter, it was like all my favorite artists were on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
So it forced me to make a Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
You had such a big fan base, and you probably made a lot of people sign up for Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Like all it's like, oh, Wiz is on Twitter.
Right.
Joe Budden was on Twitter.
Right.
Joe Budden used to have it cracking. I remember it was like you, Wiz, Joe Budden, J.R. Smith.
Random.
Just like
Jermaine Dupri.
Yeah, just like certain niggas was on Twitter on the tweet decks and this, like those was the time, popping up the music and you're on Twitter. Like those early days was crazy. And then even thing too, like media takeout. Like there was all those like old, like it was it's
OG blog shit.
OG blog shit.
I think that's when like would fuck everything up right there. Like baller alert, media takeout.
Yeah, I feel like that's might be what's the word for bait? Like clickbait.
Yeah.
That might have started clickbait.
Yeah.
Well, them magazines in grocery stores did have some crazy things.
Those was tabloids.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. That's different.
Yeah, it's like an online tab.
Yeah, them websites was crazy, man.
Yeah.
Yo, so-and-so dropped new booty pic. Oh,
that's what Shade Room is now, though. It's the same thing.
That's true. Yeah.
It's the same exact thing.
How do you, what do you feel like you learned the most about yourself, like, through being, like, famous? Like,
through being famous, I think I learned, like, that definitely my fans are the people who I only really need to ever entertain. And I learned that my community, as long as they understand what I'm doing, it doesn't matter about anything or anybody else. And yeah, as crazy as things might get to navigate sometimes, it's always, if I make moves that my fans will appreciate, that's gonna be the best pocket for anything that I do. Yeah, I learned that about
I think that, to me, is the testament that I think has made you an icon and made you stay around for so long. It's like a lot of people you kind of came up with, I think they alienated their fans and they